So, how about the Minnesota Wild, eh? Woo wee mama. That was exciting. That was a lot of fun. That was mwah, beautiful. I mean, tonight was a grinder. Tonight was gritty. Tonight showed fortitude because we were down Hartman, Zuccarello, Spurgeon, Brodin. I mean, this team has been banged up to hell and back on multiple occasions and have found ways to get things done at the end of the day. I mean, all you can ask for is a Wild win. All you can ask for is your players to step up. All you can ask for is what we've been seeing 10 out of the last 13 games. Just win, baby. To use a football quote. But yeah, just win. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. It's not always going to be how you want to win. But at the end of the day, 2 points is 2 points. And whew, I'll tell you what, after the way this year has started, I'll take where we are going into the holiday break. So yeah, little recap on the game here tonight. The Minnesota Wild beat the Boston Bruins by a score of 3-2. Literally in the first, I'd say about 60 to 75 seconds of the game, the Wild go down on the penalty kill, and, well, David Pastrnak snipes one on the first shot of power play to give the Bruins a 1-0 lead. And then, the Wild took a couple penalties and stuff like that. They got a couple power plays and stuff like that, and they managed to right the ship, basically going into the end of the first period. Down 1-0. And the Minnesota Wild come back in the second period on absolute fire with a power play goal by Joel Eriksson Ek, which was actually more of an own goal, and then a Marcus Foligno goal, I believe was what turned out to be the game winner tonight. Boy, it was nice seeing Moose rack one, especially after Kirill Kaprizov potted one not that long before. So yeah, the goal scorers tonight for your Minnesota Wild were, in order, Joel Eriksson Ek, Kirill Kaprizov, and Moose, Marcus Foligno. I'll tell you what, though, it did get a little spicy in the third period when Morgan Geekie potted a goal after just a Goligoski Bogosian defensive breakdown, which, again, you cannot have against a team like this, but it didn't ultimately come back to bite us in the keister, so all things said and done, though, the Wild are back to playing Wild hockey. The Wild are back to playing Wild hockey. So the Wild win and sweep the season series against the Boston Bruins. And wow, oh, wow, oh, wow, baby. Yeah, because like I say, at the beginning of the year, especially around, the global series and stuff like that, if you would have told me that we would be above 500 going into the Christmas break and stuff like that, I would have considered it a dub, especially with the way things were going there. And after Dean got fired and John Hynes came in, John Hynes essentially took the team and made it better. Well, with all the pieces he had and stuff like that, there was just that motivation and that juice that is hard to explain unless, you go through a major change like that. Because, again, I still say the ultimate primary example of that was the St. Louis Blues of the 2018-2019 season, because they fired Mike Yeo sometime in December, January. They are at the bottom of the standings, this, that, and the other thing, and, well, a few months later, they were hoisting the Stanley Cup. So I'm not saying the Wild are going to do that. I'm not even hinting that the Wild are even going to make the playoffs at this point, just because there's still a lot of things that need to be taken care of. But the Wild at Christmas break are now 15, 13, and 4 with 34 points and have leapfrogged for now the St. Louis Blues, who are looking potentially like Well, they're about to lose to the Chicago Blackhawks on a Michigan goal by Connor Bedard, which, again, being part of a Blues server on Discord can be kind of interesting there. But again, a Michigan goal is a Michigan goal. Those things are always interesting and fun to see, even if it is unfortunately your arch rival. And yeah, like I say, if the Arizona Coyotes slip up here too, I mean, the Wild are just a couple points back from Arizona. Nashville losing helps. I mean, we're literally only within about 2 or 3 games back from potentially being 4th, if not even in the top 3 of the Central. So, just keep stacking up these wins, guys. Keep getting these victories because the schedule is setting up to be very favorable. According to a thing that I saw earlier today, the Minnesota Wild have the 22nd ranked strength of schedule moving forward, which basically means the Wild schedule should not be as daunting as it has been and all that stuff. So, hey, there's no reason we can't go out there and get the damn thing done. I'm not saying we will make the playoffs. I'm not saying, we're Stanley Cup contenders or anything like that. But going into, the Christmas break and then eventually 2024 here in just literally a little over a week, to be right there in the thick of things, to be right there, right where you need to be, I'll take it. I will take it. But hey, 15, 13, and 4 going into the Christmas break. All said and done, I'll take it. Especially because, like I say, we've been injured so much this year that it's not even funny. I mean, I don't think we've potted the same lineup more than maybe a couple games. Maybe a couple of games. And like I say, it's big pieces too, like Spurgeon, Zuccarello, Brodin. Faber was kind of dinged up a little bit. Boldy was dinged up early in the year. I mean, we've had so many injuries to key positions and key players that the fact that we're even now still remotely in this thing is crazy. So yeah, and after tonight, our next game is on Wednesday against the Detroit Red Wings, who are kind of on a little bit of an interesting streak themselves. I mean, they were up 5-1 here a couple nights ago, or was it last night? Now, I think they're up 5-1 last night against the, I want to say it was the Philadelphia Flyers. Yeah, it was the Philadelphia Flyers, and then they ended up choking that away to overtime, give or take, and then they managed to somehow pull a victory out of their butts by a score of 7-6 with now Patrick Kane, who, if you're a Wild fan or sports fan in the Central Division or an NHL fan in the Central Division who is not a Chicago fan, yeah, he's back, unfortunately. But it is what it is, We just have to go ahead and take care of our business, so. But hey, John Hynes was able to inject a little bit of life to a team that desperately needed it. The Wild are now, reaping the benefits, and we've won 10 out of the last 13, so we'll just see what happens here. I'm not saying, we're done. I'm not saying we're going to make the playoffs, this, that, or the other thing, but at the very least, it's going to be nice to see a competitive team going down the stretch. Alrighty, well, I think I've rambled on long enough here, so, hey, we'll see you on Wednesday, and go from there. So until we meet again, this is Jacob. Let's go Wild, baby, and let's see where the hell this season takes us. Because I like what I'm seeing now, considering the start that we had.